Okay, so in this video we're going to talk a little bit about what do you call a duck that steals. Now this is another slope intercept y equals mx plus b kind of worksheet here. So we're going to work our way through that. For the first 6 exercises here we are trying to find the slope between these 2 points A and B. So let's start off with question number 1. So let's just first kind of recap that the slope equation is going to be y equals mx plus b. So m is going to be the slope that we're solving for. And m is always rise over run, meaning how much this goes upwards and how much this goes over. So in this situation, we have a going up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the rise. So that's going to be 4 over 3. The run's going to be 1, 2, 3. 4 over 3. That's going to be the slope. M equals 4 over 3. For number 2, we can already notice that since it's going the other direction, the run is going to be in a negative direction. So that is actually going to create a negative slope. So we know we're having a negative slope just looking at this graph. Positive slope kind of goes to the right like that. Negative slope goes to the left, and let me show you why. So here we've got the rise. Looks like it's a rise of 2 and a run of negative 1. So that'd be 2 over negative 1, which would equal negative 2. For this question, it's the same thing. It looks like we have a negative slope here. It's going to be rise over run. So it's going to be a rise of 1 over a run of negative. Actually, it looks like it might be a little bit more than negative 2 here. So it's going to be a rise of 1, 2, 3. Let's just say a rise of 3 actually there. And then a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Negative 5. So it's going to be a rise of 3, run of negative 5 for question number 3. Let's move down to question number 4 here. We've got a rise of 1, 2, 3, and a run of 1. So if you're uncertain, like in this last question here, remember before I said that I thought that it was actually intersecting at that spot, you can always just do the whole entire slope from one point to the other and then reduce the fraction later. For instance, like if we were doing this one here, you can always just rise all the way up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we can go over 1, 2, 3, and then that would be a negative 6 over 3, which would still reduce down to negative 2. So you can always do it that way. Here we've got, let's go back to number 4. Here we've got a rise of 3 and a run of 1, so that would be a positive 3. For number 5, it looks like we again have a negative slope here. That'll be a rise of 1, and it's going to be a 1 over, and then we know this is negative because it's going backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, a run of negative 4, so it'll be negative 1 over 4. Here we see we have a straight line right there. Straight line right there. So this is just straight up y equals negative 3. So in that situation, m is going to equal 0. Slope is 0 here because there's basically y is just negative 3. So m equaling 0 is going to cancel out the x. All right, for the second part here, okay, let's see here. Find the slope of the line that passes through 2 given points. So now we're solving for the slope in between these 2 spots here. Now, this equation is pretty easy. It's just y2 minus y1 equals over x2 minus x1. So y2 over y1 over y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's write that equation up here. So here we got 3 minus 1, and that's going to equal 2 over 5 minus 2 is 3. All right. Here we've got 5 minus 3, is 2. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. That's going to be a negative 1 over 3. Negative 2 minus a negative 4 is going to be positive 2. 6 minus 1 is going to be 5. 4 minus 1 is going to be 3. Negative 7 plus 3 is going to be 4. I'm sorry, negative 4. Negative 1 minus 2 is going to be a negative 3. 3 minus 9 is going to be a negative 6. I'm going to change that sign there, so that's going to equal 1/2. 2 minus 8 is going to equal a negative 6. Negative 4 minus a negative 5, that's like adding 5 because we changed that sign, so it's going to be 1, so it's just a negative 6. Negative 7 minus negative 1 is going to be a negative 6 over 4 minus 0, which is just 4. It's going to equal 3 over 2. Negative 6 minus a negative 1 is going to equal a negative 5. Negative 2 minus 1 is going to equal a negative 3. So that's going to be a positive 5 over 3. Here's 0 minus a negative 8 is going to be 8. Negative 2 minus negative 4 is going to be positive 2. That's going to equal 4. 0 minus a negative 3, we're looking at 3. 0 minus negative 3, 3. It's going to equal 1. 1 minus 5 is going to equal negative 4. 9 minus 2 is going to equal 7. 7 minus 0, negative 2 minus 0 is just going to be really easy. Minus 7 over 2. Okay, so now that we have all the answers, let's just go ahead and plug them all in here. So let's go back up top here. We got 4/3 and negative 2 and negative 3/5 here. So let's find 4/3 right there. This next one, negative 2 here. Negative 3/5 there. We've got 3 here. Negative 1/4. We've got 0. 2/3. Negative 1/3. 2/5. Minus 3/4. 1/2. Negative 6. Negative 3 over 2. 5 over 3. 4. Yeah, this is negative 3 over 2 here. 4. 1. Negative 4 over 7. Negative 7 over 2. So the answer is going to be A, R, O, B, B, E, R, D, U, C, K, Y. So the answer is going to be a robber ducky. And that's what you call a duck that steals.